This video has to do with an inmate that was killed by police or correction personnel. I'm not really sure which one, but this gentleman was arrested for a warrant because he had not paid back child support. He's in jail for 4 days and he is murdered. The coroner that did the autopsy ruled his death a homicide. This man was strangled so severely that the hybrid bone in his neck was snapped. When the paramedics were called, they couldn't even get a tube down, and the man was probably already gone, at least brain dead, but they couldn't even get a tube down his throat because of the broken bone and the fact that he had vomit that had congealed in his throat. Now that's bad enough, but the Oklahoma police refused to release the video, and there was a video that captured all of the action. And the chief of police refuses to honor a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request for that video, claiming that it's just too brutal to watch. The Department of Justice is supposedly jumping in on this one, but this occurred more than a month ago, and there's been no information out there since the family has pushed to get the video released.
Folks, in Oklahoma, a stunning story that, again, we are quite familiar with. A black man arrested for a non-violent crime ends up dead behind bars at the hands of corrections officers. Darius Robinson, arrested in April in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, who was taken into custody on a warrant for failure to pay child support and transported to Caddo County, Oklahoma, a city southwest of Oklahoma City. Behind bars, jailers say Robinson was acting strange, so they handcuffed, pepper sprayed, and used an illegal chokehold to subdue him. That chokehold was so strong, the medical examiner said the hyoid bone in Robinson's neck was crushed. His death has been ruled as a homicide. A video camera caught the entire ordeal on tape. The law enforcement officials refused to release the footage, citing their interpretation of the state's open records law. Today, the family continues to search for answers as they prepare to sue the prison. Joining us in the studio, Malik Shabazz, the family attorney, and on FaceTime from Santa Ana, California, is Ancio Robinson, the victim's older brother. I want to thank both of you for joining us. Ancio, first and foremost, how was your brother? How old was your brother? What did he do? What did he do? Who was he?
My brother was 41. He was a family man. He loved to be around his children. He loved his family and his close friends. He lived in Oklahoma for, I'd say, the past 20 years with our father. Our father, his entire side of the family, they're natives from Oklahoma. He was born in California here with me on my mother's side.
He was arrested for failure to pay child support. How much did he owe?
My understanding, it was $40,000 or $50,000 of child support. The warrant was an old warrant, I believe, maybe 15, 20 years old, from what I gather. And
he goes to jail. How long was he in jail before he ended up dead?
I believe 4 days.
Malik, I want to go to you as the attorney. A video exists showing what took place. You're suing, but first and foremost, any of the folks involved, is there an investigation? Have they been charged? Anything along those lines?
We have no credible investigation going on their end. Although we, as the attorneys, Attorney Greg Latimer, Attorney Spencer Bryan, in a vigorous investigation. The video must be released. There's stonewalling on the video.
Okay.
The video must be released.
So the medical examiner ruled his death a homicide.
Yes.
So there's no criminal investigation going on of the DA's office, U.S. Attorney's office?
We have no record of a criminal investigation going on at this moment. The family is demanding a criminal investigation. I mean, this is an outright strangulation. As you said, they fractured the hyoid bone in his neck, meaning they not only strangled him, but they broke his neck as they asphyxiated him. The cause of death is asphyxiation by manual neck compression. So they choked him out of the oxygen, and they broke the bone in his neck. So this is clearly a homicide. It's clearly a violation of his civil rights. Clearly it's excessive force. Clearly the chokeholds, which were banned in the 90s, it's not even supposed to be used. So clearly there's negligent training, there's negligent supervision, violation of constitutional rights everywhere. Criminal charges must be brought, and the video must be released.
Ancio, you have not heard from police, from the DA, from anyone?
Well, I actually spoke to the district attorney, Jason Hicks, down in Oklahoma, and per our conversation, he said the video was disturbing, but at this time he would not release the video, to the family to view it.
Okay, but Ancio, did the DA say that they're actually doing an investigation?
Well, they have the OSBI supposedly investigating the incident. They were actually brought on perhaps a couple days after my brother passed away, but I've not been contacted by OSBI, the sheriff, Lennis Miller.
And he died when?
My brother died April 5th.
So here we are, Malik, three months later.
3 months later.
And you've heard nothing?
There's nothing credible to say that there's a serious criminal investigation or effort to place criminal charges on the jailers, Porter, Smith, and Robinson, who murdered Darius Robinson. And so we'll be in the city on July 25th because the efforts are ramping up. The legal efforts, a lawsuit is filed, the family and the community, and there's going to be full pressure, not only for the video to be released, but for these jailers to be held fully accountable on a civil level and a criminal level, 100%.
How many jailers were involved?
At least 3, maybe more, but we have at least Porter, Smith, and Robertson that we have found out that were involved in not only strangling and taking the life from him, breaking his neck, but then also even failing to give him any kind of proper medical attention. And then when the medical personnel came, they did not even inform them on what had happened. I mean, he had vomit all the way clogging his windpipe. For 30 minutes, the EMS tried to get a breathing tube in him. They couldn't because of the amount of vomit. And the jailers, who obviously keep lying, didn't even tell the EMS that his condition was a result of trauma, is a result of strangulation. They didn't tell him what had happened, which could have saved his life. They were deliberately indifferent.
Just like in Baton Rouge, are you calling on the U.S. Attorney to go the investigation? Are you calling on the Department of Justice to also step in to participate in a civil rights probe?
We have, as attorneys, again, Spencer Bryant, Greg Latimer, we've asked, the Justice Department has been asked to come in, and they say that they will do an investigation. However, as we know, we can look at Ferguson, we look at all the other cities where we've had promises by the Justice Department to take action. They have failed to take action.
But has DOJ formally told you they are doing an investigation?
Yes, they have. Yes, they have, and we take that with a grain of salt in this hour.
Are you also calling on the U.S. Attorney in that region? If you're saying that there's no credible investigation going on, are you calling on the U.S. Attorney to step in to lead an investigation?
I mean, absolutely. I think the family is, and of course, as crime victims, and this is a crime. This is a federal crime, and we want to see action from the U.S. Attorney's Office. I mean, I got to be straight with you. It should come from the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Department of Justice. Action must come from the President of this United States of America. This is a national crisis, and it must be addressed by Mr. Obama directly in this hour.
Malik Shabazz, we appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Good luck with that.